Yvonne De Carlo was a Canadian-American actress, singer, and dancer whose career in film, television, and musical theatre spanned 6 decades. She obtained her breakthrough role in Salome, where she danced, produced by Walter Wanger, who described her as the most beautiful girl in the world. Success followed in films such as Criss Cross and The Captain's Paradise. Her film career reached its peak when director Cecil B. DeMille cast her as Sephora, the wife of Moses, her most prominent role, in his biblical epic The Ten Commandments. After her lead performance in Band of Angels and supporting role in McLintock, she played Lily Munster, the wife of Herman Munster, in the CBS sitcom The Munsters. Early life: Margaret Yvonne Middleton was born in West Point Grey, British Columbia, on September 1, 1922. She was the only daughter of William Middleton, an Australian-born salesman, and Marie De Carlo, a French-born aspiring actress. Her mother ran away from home when she was 16 to become a ballerina. After several years working as a shop girl, she married in 1924. De Carlo was 3 years old when her father abandoned the family. She then lived with her grandparents, Italian-born Michael De Carlo and Scottish-born Margaret Purvis. By the time she entered grade school, she found her strong singing voice brought her the attention she longed for. De Carlo was taken to Hollywood, where her mother enrolled her in dancing school. Mother and daughter were uprooted when their visas expired and ultimately returned to Vancouver. De Carlo pair made several trips to Los Angeles until 1940, when she was first runner-up to Miss Venice Beach, and was hired by showman Nils Granlund as a dancer at the Florentine Gardens. She had been dancing for Granlund only a short time when she was arrested by immigration officials and deported to Canada, but in January 1941, Granlund sent a telegram to U.S. immigration officials pledging his sponsorship of De Carlo in the U.S., and affirmed his offer of steady employment, both requirements to re-enter the country. Seeking contract work in the movies, she abruptly quit the Florentine Gardens after less than a year, landing a role as a bathing beauty in the 1941 Harvard, Here I Come. Other roles were slow to follow, and De Carlo took a job in the chorus line of Earl Carroll. During World War II she performed for U.S. servicemen and received many letters from GIs. Career: film. De Carlo's earliest screen appearances were in Columbia Pictures, including the feature Harvard, Here I Come and the two-reeler comedy Kink of the Campus. She also sang and danced in a 3-minute Soundies musical, The Lamp of Memory, shown in coin-operated movie jukeboxes, and later released for 16mm home movie showings and television by Official Films. She also appeared as a Native American princess in an independently produced version of Deerslayer released in 1943 by Republic Pictures. De Carlo was a Paramount starlet, but the studio signed her due to her resemblance to Dorothy Lamour. She was screen-tested and interviewed for the role of Tree Martini in Cecil B. DeMille's The Story of Dr. Wassel. She wasn't cast in the role, but DeMille promised to make it up to her on another film in the future. De Carlo was chosen over 20,000 girls to play the lead role in Salome, where she danced, a Walter Wanger production in Technicolor. Though not a critical success, it was a box office favorite, and De Carlo was hailed as an up-and-coming star. In his review for the film, Bosley Crowther of The New York Times wrote, Miss De Carlo has an agreeable mezzo-soprano singing voice, all the looks one girl could ask for, and, moreover, she dances with a sensuousness which must have caused the Hayes office some anguish. The script, however, does not give her much chance to prove her acting talents. In 1946, exhibitors voted her the 9th most promising star of tomorrow. She was cast in her first important role opposite Burt Lancaster in the film noir Criss Cross. Bosley Crowther noted that De Carlo is trying something different as Anna. The change is welcome, even though Miss De Carlo's performance is uneven. In that respect, she is right in step with most everything else about Criss Cross. She starred in the British comedy The Captain's Paradise, as one of 2 wives a ship captain keeps in separate ports. Crowther described her in the film as wonderfully candid and suggestive of the horsefrow in Every Dame. In 1955, Cecil B. DeMille cast her as Sephora, the wife of Moses in his biblical epic The Ten Commandments. Her performance was well received by film critics, described as notably good by Bosley Crowther. In his autobiography, DeMille described why he decided to cast De Carlo as Moses' wife. "I cast Yvonne De Carlo as Sephora, the wife of Moses, after our casting director, Burt McKay, called my attention to one scene she played in Sombrero, which was a picture far removed in theme from the Ten Commandments. I sensed in her a depth, an emotional power, a womanly strength which the part of Sephora needed and which she gave it." Later notable screen appearances were in the Civil War drama Band of Angels, with Clark Gable and Sidney Poitier, and the Western comedy McClintock, with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. Television. De Carlo was also a successful character actress on television and made her debut on a 1952 episode of Lights Out. The part led to other roles in the Ford Television Theatre, Shower of Stars, Schlitt's Playhouse of Stars, Bonanza, Screen Directors Playhouse, Burke's Law, Follow the Sun, Adventures in Paradise, The Girl from UNCLE, The Name of the Game and The Virginian, among others. De Carlo was in debt by 1964 when she signed a contract with Universal Studios to perform the female-led role in The Munsters opposite Fred Gwynne. She was also the producer's choice to play Lily Munster when Joan Marshall, who played Phoebe, was dropped from consideration for the role. When De Carlo was asked how a glamorous actress could succeed as a ghoulish matriarch of a haunted house, she replied simply, "I follow the directions I received on the first day of shooting, play her just like Donna Reed." After the show's cancellation, De Carlo reprised the role as Lily Munster in the Technicolor Munster movie, Munster, Go Home, partially in hopes of renewing interest in the TV series. Despite the attempt, The Munsters was cancelled after 70 episodes. She had a small cameo role on the Munsters television movie remake Here Come the Munsters in 1995. Her final movie appearance was in the 1995 television movie The Barefoot Executive, a Disney Channel remake of the 1971 film of the same name. Opera and musical theatre. Trained in opera and a former chorister at St. Paul's Anglican Church, Vancouver, when she was a child, De Carlo possessed a powerful contralto voice. In 1951 she was cast in the role of Prince Orlovsky in a production of the opera Die Fledermaus at the Hollywood Bowl. De Carlo released an LP of standards called Yvonne De Carlo Sings on Master Seal Records in 1957. This album was orchestrated by future movie composer John Williams under the pseudonym John Towner. She sang and played the harp on at least one episode of The Munsters. After 1967 De Carlo became increasingly active in musicals, appearing in off-Broadway productions of Pal Joey and Catch Me If You Can. In early 1968 she joined Donald O'Connor in a 15-week run of Little Me, staged between Lake Tahoe and Las Vegas. Her defining stage role was as Carlotta Campion in Stephen Sondheim's musical, Follies in 1971 to 1972. Death. De Carlo suffered a minor stroke in 1998. She later became a resident of the Motion Picture and Television Hospital, in Woodland Hills, where she spent her last years. De Carlo died of natural causes on January 8, 2007. Her remains were cremated. Personal life. De Carlo married stuntman Robert Drew Morgan, whom she met on the set of Shotgun, on November 21, 1955. They had two sons, Bruce Ross and Michael. Morgan also had a daughter, Bari Lee, from a previous marriage. Morgan lost his left leg after being run over by a train while filming How the West Was Won. However, his contract with MGM assumed no responsibility for the accident. De Carlo and Morgan filed a $1.4 million lawsuit against the studio, claiming her husband was permanently disabled. They divorced in June 1974. Her mother died in 1993 from a fall. Her son Michael died in 1997. Causes were unknown, although a Santa Barbara police report contains concerns about possible foul play. De Carlo was a naturalized citizen of the United States. Awards and honors. In 1957, she received a Box Office Blue Ribbon Award for The Ten Commandments. In 1960, she was awarded 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 1964, she received a second Box Office Blue Ribbon Award for McClintock. In 1987, she won the Fanta Festival Award for Best Actress for American Gothic. In 2005, she was one of the 250 female legends nominated for the American Film Institute's 100 Years. 100 Stars. In 2007, she was nominated for the Who Knew They Could Sing Award for the Munsters. Filmography. See also, References. Further reading, Thomas, Nick. Raised by the Stars, Interviews with 29 Children of Hollywood Actors. McFarland. ISBN A978-0-7864-6403-6 includes an interview with De Carlo's son, Bruce Morgan. External links, official website, Yvonne De Carlo at the Internet Movie Database, Yvonne De Carlo at the Internet Broadway Database, NY Times Obituary, Media Newswire press release, Munsters television star Yvonne De Carlo dies at 84, Yvonne De Carlo in Lamp of Memory at the Prelinger Archive, Yvonne De Carlo. The Daily Telegraph. January 12, 2007. Archived from the original on October 25, 2007 obituary. Yvonne De Carlo at Find a Grave, Photographs and Literature.